So this section is all about using the difference quotient. So with the difference quotient, we're going to break this up in a couple different parts. We have f of x plus h. Then we are going to subtract the original function. And lastly, we're going to all divide it by h. So to start with, what we're going to go ahead and do here is just do these three separate parts before I'll go ahead and put it together. So f of x plus h. What this says to do is take my original function, negative 3x plus 1. And wherever I have that x, replace it with x plus h. When I do this, I do have to go through and distribute. So this would leave me with f of x plus h equaling negative 3x minus 3h plus 1. Now, part that I have up there in the blue box, minus f of x. Well, what is minus f of x? That just means take the entire function and we're going to change its sign. So that becomes now plus 3x minus 1, again, because I had to distribute that negative, so I changed all of the signs. So now I'm going to go ahead and put all of this together and divide it all by h. So what do I have? My first part that I have in red, negative 3x minus 3h plus 1. Now the next part that I have is, which is in blue, which gives me my positive 3x minus 1, and all of that is over h. Now, the idea behind the difference quotient, just so you know, this f of x portion that I have here will always, by design, cancel out completely. Now, all I'm left with here is negative 3h over h. So the difference quotient in this case is equal to negative 3. We're going to go ahead and do another one of these. All right, so let's go ahead and do one more of these. Again, remember the first part is going to be f of x plus h. Then I'm going to subtract f of x, and then finally divide it all by h. So to start with, I start with my f of x plus h. I take my original x, and that original x is being squared, plus 5 times x minus 1. But instead of x here, I have x plus h. So I have to add a plus h to both of those pieces. Now, when I work this out, I do have to make sure I FOIL this out. So if I FOIL that out, that's going to be x plus h times x plus h, or x squared plus, I have the inside and outside terms there, so that's going to go ahead and give me 2xh plus h squared. Now I distribute the 5, and I get 5x plus 5h minus 1. All right, so then the next portion is just the opposite of the function. The opposite of the function, I just go back to my original function, which is x squared plus 5x minus 1. And the opposite of that just means I change all of those signs. So that gives me a negative x squared minus 5x plus 1. Now I take all of that and put it all over the denominator, which is h. So it gets a little bit long here, but it's all right. Just go slow and make sure you copy everything down correctly. So that's x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 5x plus 5h minus 1. Now, After that, I put everything that I have in blue, which is my minus x squared minus 5x plus 1. And as I said before, all of those terms in that subtraction function will end up going ahead and canceling out. So the 1 and the 1 cancel, the 5x and the 5x cancel, and the x squared and the x squared cancel. So again, this is all over h. What do we have left? We have 2xh plus h squared plus 5h all over h in the denominator. Now, if you'll notice, there's an h in every single one of these terms in the numerator. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and factor out an h. I want to do this so that I can cancel out the h in the denominator, and I'd be left with 2x plus h plus 5 all over h. Or that final answer is just going to be left with what I have up top, 2x plus h plus 5.